Okay, so this actually happened to me last month, and I still think about it.
Uh-oh.
I was at a small dinner with some new people, friends of friends, and one woman turns to me and asks, "So, what does your day usually look like?"
Simple question.
You'd think,
I froze
why would you freeze?
because in my head I heard myself say, I wake up, I check my phone, I make coffee, I work, I eat lunch, I work more, I go home, I watch something, I sleep.
That's a lot of commas.
It felt like reading a grocery list out loud.
Did you actually say all that?
I said half of it, and I watched her eyes go somewhere else, like she was mentally checking her own phone while I was still talking.
Painful.
Extremely painful. And the worst part is, my days aren't actually boring. Things happen. I just described them like a robot filling out a form.
So, what did you do?
Nothing in the moment. I just quietly finished my sentence and drank my water very seriously.
Very seriously.
But afterward, I kept thinking about it, and I realized my problem wasn't my life. It was how I was telling it.
Say more.
I was only giving the actions. Wake up, work, sleep. No feeling, no moment, no little detail that makes it mine.
So, you needed a detail.
Exactly. And that's actually where I landed on something I've started calling the detail drop method.
The detail drop method.
Instead of listing 5 boring actions in a row, you drop in just one small, specific, slightly unexpected detail, and suddenly the whole routine sounds like a real life instead of a schedule.
Give me an example.
Instead of I make coffee, you say, I make coffee so strong my coworkers refuse to drink it.
Okay, that's already more interesting.
Right? One detail. That's the whole trick. You don't need a dramatic life. You need one honest, specific moment dropped into the boring part.
I think I do the exact same robot version you did, honestly.
Most people do, because we think our routines are too normal to talk about.
But they're not. We're just explaining them badly.
Exactly. So that's today's episode.
Hey there, welcome back to Speak Unstoppable. English that feels like real life, not a textbook.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria, still recovering from that dinner party.
She's fine.
Barely.
Today we're talking about describing your daily routine without putting your listener to sleep.
Routines feel boring in your own language too, but in English, it gets worse.
You panic, and you fall back on the flattest sentences you know.
I wake up, I go to work, I sleep.
Exactly. So today, we'll practice making routine talk actually sound like you.
Later, we'll do rewrite it, turning flat routine sentences into natural ones.
Plus, our word tour, 6 words that upgrade how you talk about your day.
John, honestly, when someone asks about your day, what's the first sentence out of your mouth?
Honestly, I usually get asked at work, and I say nothing much, just the usual.
The classic dodge.
It's not even a lie, it just tells them nothing.
Right, and I think that's the first myth we should break today. People think their routine is boring because their life is boring.
But that's not actually true.
No. Most people's days have small, specific, slightly funny or slightly strange moments in them. We just don't mention them because we don't think they count.
Give me an example from your actual week.
Okay, every morning I make my coffee. And every morning, my cat sits directly on my laptop keyboard until I move her.
That's not nothing. That's a whole scene.
Right, but if you asked me what my morning looks like, I'd say I wake up, make coffee, check email. Nothing about the cat.
Because your brain files the cat under too small to mention.
Exactly. But the cat is the interesting part.
The email is not the interesting part.
Nobody has ever once been fascinated by someone else's email.
Never in history.
So the myth is, my life is boring.
The truth is, my summary of my life is boring because I'm cutting out the only interesting details.
That's actually a relief to hear.
It should be, because it means you don't need a more exciting life to sound more interesting.
You just need to stop deleting the good parts.
Exactly. You're not lying or exaggerating, you're just including what you normally leave out.
Can I admit something embarrassing?
Always.
For years, I thought talking about my routine in English meant listing every single action in order, like a robot doing a status report.
I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast.
Exactly that rhythm. Very correct grammar. Completely lifeless.
Where did you learn to talk like that?
Textbooks? Honestly, every routine exercise in every textbook is just a list of times and actions. At 7 o'clock, I wake up. At 8 o'clock, I leave the house.
That's useful for learning the grammar.
It is, but it's terrible for actually talking to a human being.
Because a real person doesn't want your schedule. They want a moment.
Right, and I didn't understand that difference for a long time. I thought precision was the goal.
More detail, more correct, more impressive.
Yes, but detail and precision aren't the same as interesting.
Say that again. That's a good line.
Detail and precision aren't the same as interesting.
You can be extremely accurate and extremely boring at the same time.
Painfully accurate.
So what actually makes something interesting?
A moment, a feeling, a small surprise, one honest reaction. Not 5 actions in perfect order.
So instead of at 7 I wake up, at 8 I leave the house.
You could say, my alarm goes off at 7, and I lie there negotiating with myself for at least 10 minutes.
That already sounds like a person.
Because it is a person, not a schedule.
Let's go back to your cat for a second.
She'll be thrilled to hear that.
When you told that story just now, you didn't just say what happened. You reacted to it.
I guess I did.
That's actually the second piece of this. It's not only about picking a good detail, it's about showing how you feel about it.
So the reaction matters as much as the event.
Sometimes more. Watch this. Compare. My cat sits on my keyboard every morning. 2. My cat sits on my keyboard every single morning like it's her job. And honestly, at this point, I think she's just clocking in.
Same event. Completely different energy.
Right. The second one has personality in it. Frustration, humor, a little affection.
So when I describe my commute, instead of I take the bus to work,
You could say, I take the bus to work, and somehow it's always 3 minutes late in exactly the way that makes me sprint the last block.
now I actually feel that stress with you.
That's the goal. You want the listener to feel something, not just receive information.
So the formula so far is pick one specific moment and then react to it honestly.
Exactly. And the reaction can be small. Annoyed, amused, proud, tired. Whatever's true.
It doesn't need to be dramatic.
No, it just needs to be real. Because real reactions are naturally interesting, even about tiny things.
Now let's talk pushback, because I know what some listeners are thinking.
Let me guess.
Go ahead.
What if my day genuinely is just work, home, sleep? What if there's nothing to react to?
That's a fair worry.
It is, and I used to believe that about myself completely. My weeks felt identical. Work, home, dinner, phone, bed, repeat.
So, what changed?
I realized I was looking for one big, interesting day, when really, I just needed one small, interesting minute inside an ordinary day.
Those aren't the same thing.
Not at all. A big, interesting day is rare. A small, interesting minute happens constantly. We just don't notice it because we're used to it.
Give me a boring week, and I bet you can still find one.
Fine. Last week, genuinely nothing happened. Work, home, sleep, 5 days straight.
Nothing? At all?
Well, on Wednesday, my coworker microwaved fish in the office kitchen, and the entire floor went to war about it silently through passive-aggressive sticky notes.
That's not nothing, John. That's a whole story.
I forgot that even happened until you asked.
That's exactly my point. It's not that your week has nothing, it's that you've trained yourself to skip past the small stuff because you assume it doesn't count as content.
So even a boring week has at least one moment worth mentioning.
Almost always. You just have to actually go looking for it instead of jumping straight to the summary.
The summary is where the routine goes to die.
Beautifully said. And slightly dramatic. But, yes.
Okay, so let's actually build a full routine answer together, using everything so far.
Live. Right now?
Live. Right now. Start simple. What time do you actually wake up?
6:30, unfortunately.
Boring version, I wake up at 6:30. Now give me a detail.
The alarm is this awful beeping sound I've had for 3 years, and I still haven't changed it.
Now react to it.
I hate it so much that I think I keep it on purpose, just to have something to complain about every morning.
Put it together.
My alarm goes off at 6:30 with this awful beeping I've had for 3 years, and honestly at this point, I think I keep it, just so I have something to complain about.
See how far that is from I wake up at 6:30.
It's basically a completely different sentence, even though the fact is the same.
Same information, 10 times more personality.
And notice, it's not longer for no reason. Every extra word is doing something. The detail. The reaction.
Nothing wasted.
Exactly. You're not adding filler. You're adding the parts that were true the whole time. You just used to leave them out.
So the method really is just pick the moment, add the detail, then be honest about how you feel.
Detail, then reaction. That's basically the whole method in 6 words.
So let's bring this all the way back to that dinner party.
Please, relive it with me.
If I could go back, instead of listing my whole day like a form, I'd just say, honestly, my mornings are chaos. My cat basically runs my schedule and I've accepted it.
That's one sentence. And I already like you more.
Exactly. One sentence, one detail, one honest reaction, and suddenly I sound like a person with an actual life instead of someone reading a to-do list out loud.
And here's the thing. This isn't about becoming a more exciting storyteller overnight.
No, it's really not about performance at all.
It's about noticing what's already there and actually saying it instead of skipping straight to the boring summary.
Your routine probably has 3 or 4 of these small moments in it already. Today, this week.
You just haven't been mentioning them because you assumed nobody wants to hear about your commute or your coffee or your cat.
But those tiny, specific, honest things are exactly what make you sound natural in English. Not more advanced grammar. Not longer sentences.
Just real moments. Said honestly.
So next time someone asks what your day looks like, don't reach for the full list.
Reach for the one true detail that actually made you feel something, even if it's small.
Especially if it's small.
Pick it, drop it in, react to it honestly, and let the rest of the boring stuff just stay quietly in the background where it belongs.
One more thing before we move to the words. I want to give you a quick way to practice this alone, without needing a dinner party to panic at.
A safe version of the panic.
Exactly. Tonight, or tomorrow morning, just ask yourself the question out loud. In English, what did today look like?
Out loud, actually speaking. Not just thinking it.
Yes, because thinking it in your head lets you stay lazy. Speaking it forces you to actually build real sentences.
And you're not aiming for a long answer.
No, 30 seconds is plenty. Wake up. One detail. One reaction. Commute. One detail. One reaction. That's it.
You could even just pick one part of your day, not the whole thing.
Good point. You don't need to narrate sunrise to sunset. Pick your morning, or pick lunch, or pick the walk to the bus stop.
Small and specific beats long and flat every time.
Every single time. And if you do this for even a week, something interesting happens.
What's that?
You start noticing the details during the day, before you even try to describe them later.
Because your brain is already looking for the interesting part.
Exactly. You train yourself to actually pay attention to your own life, which, honestly, is a nice side effect of an English exercise.
Not bad for 30 seconds a day.
Not bad at all.
And the nice part is, you can do this practice anywhere. In the shower, on your commute, waiting for the kettle to boil.
No notebook required, just your own voice and one honest detail.
Which, coincidentally, is also the cheapest English lesson you'll ever give yourself.
Now let's slow down and walk through today's words. 6 words that'll help you talk about your day like an actual person, not a schedule. Our first word is monotonous.
Monotonous.
Monotonous means boring because it repeats without any change, over and over.
You might say, my job feels monotonous because every single day looks exactly the same.
Or, in writing, the meeting was so monotonous that half the room was checking their phones.
Notice this word actually names the problem we've been talking about all episode.
Right, monotonous isn't just boring. It's boring because nothing changes.
Which is exactly why one small detail can fix it instantly. Our next word is mundane.
Mundane.
Mundane means ordinary, everyday, nothing special about it on the surface.
You might say, most of my week is pretty mundane, honestly. Just work and errands.
Or in writing, she wrote about the beauty hidden inside mundane, everyday moments.
I like that this word doesn't sound negative, just plain.
Right. Mundane isn't an insult. It's just describing the surface.
Which is the whole point of today. The mundane surface is fine. You just don't stop there. Our next word is a snippet.
Snippet.
A snippet is a small piece of something, a short part, instead of the whole thing.
You might say, just give me a quick snippet of your day. I don't need the whole story.
Or in writing, the article included a short snippet of the interview.
Basically, our whole method in one word.
A snippet, not the full report.
One small piece told well beats the entire day told flatly. Our next word is unwind.
Unwind.
Unwind means to relax and let go of stress after something tiring.
You might say, I usually unwind by watching something quiet before bed.
Or in writing, after a long week, she finally had time to unwind.
This one's great for evening routines specifically.
Right. Instead of I watch TV, you could say, I unwind with something mindless after a long day.
Instantly warmer. Instantly more human. Our next word is a quirk.
Quirk.
A quirk is a small, slightly unusual habit or detail that makes something or someone a bit different.
You might say, one quirk of my morning is that I talk to my coffee machine like it can hear me.
Or in writing, everyone in the office has a small quirk that makes them memorable.
Honestly, this might be the most useful word of the day.
Because a quirk is basically the exact detail we've been telling you to drop into your routine.
Your cat on the keyboard, that's a quirk. My awful alarm sound, that's a quirk too. Our final word is candid.
Candid.
Candid means honest and open, saying what's actually true instead of the polished version.
You might say, let me be candid, my daily routine is mostly coffee and mild chaos.
Or in writing, the interview felt refreshingly candid, with no rehearsed answers at all.
This word is basically the spirit of the whole method.
Right, you're not performing an exciting life, you're just being candid about the small, real one you actually have.
Those were today's words: monotonous, mundane, snippet, unwind, quirk, and candid.
Honestly, if you only remember one, make it quirk.
Agreed, because quirk is the word that reminds you the small, odd detail is the good part, not something to hide.
Try dropping just one of these into a sentence about your own day sometime this week, even a small one.
You don't need all 6 at once. One honest word can change the whole sentence.
So later, when you have a quiet moment, try our Rewrite It segment, where we take nervous, flat routine sentences and turn them into something more natural.
First one, my life is boring, there's nothing to say.
That sentence shuts the door before you even start.
Try instead, my life is pretty mundane most days, but there's usually one small quirk worth mentioning.
Same honesty, but now there's an opening instead of a wall.
Notice you didn't lie in the rewrite, you just left a door open at the end. Second one, I just wake up, go to work, and sleep. That's it.
Very monotonous. And also very final, like the conversation is already over.
Try instead. My routine is honestly a bit monotonous, but my mornings have this one ridiculous habit that always happens.
Now the listener actually wants to know what the habit is.
You've turned a dead end into a question they'll actually ask you. Third one, I don't know what to tell you about my day.
This one comes from panic, not from having nothing to say.
Try instead. Let me give you a quick snippet. This morning alone was a small disaster.
A snippet feels manageable, a whole summary feels overwhelming, so start smaller. Fourth one, nothing interesting ever happens to me.
That's a big claim, and it's usually not true. It just feels true in the moment.
Try instead, most of my day is pretty ordinary, but there's always one small candid detail I could share if you want it.
You're not promising excitement, you're promising honesty, which is actually more inviting.
And honesty is a lot easier to deliver than excitement on demand. Fifth one, my evenings are just boring. I watch TV and go to bed.
Flat. and honestly a little sad sounding.
Try instead, I mostly unwind in the evenings. Nothing fancy, just something quiet to relax after the day.
Same evening, but now it sounds like a choice instead of an apology. Sixth one, I don't really have anything special in my routine.
This is the sentence that ends the conversation before it begins.
Try instead, I don't have anything dramatic, but I've got one small quirky habit that always makes people laugh when I mention it.
That single sentence invites a follow-up question every time.
6 rewrites, and every single one just added one small, honest detail.
Nothing exaggerated, nothing invented. Just the part we usually leave out.
And that's really the whole shift from I have nothing to say to I have one small, honest thing worth mentioning.
You're not becoming a more exciting person. You're just finally letting the real, slightly quirky, completely mundane details speak for themselves.
Same life, same day, just told with a little more honesty and a lot less flatness.
So let's recap. Your routine isn't actually boring. Your summary of it is, because you're skipping the good parts.
Pick one detail, react to it honestly, and drop it into the flat version of your day.
Monotonous becomes memorable with just one honest quirk.
Here's your challenge for this week. Next time someone asks about your day, or even just to yourself, answer using the detail drop method. One detail, one honest reaction.
Then drop your sentence in the comments below. We genuinely want to read them.
Bonus points if it involves a pet, a bad alarm sound, or a coworker's questionable lunch choices.
If this episode helped, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and go watch our last video for more practice.
Thanks for spending this time with us today.
Keep practicing, keep noticing the small stuff.
Bye for now.